Hey everyone, it is Monday, October 11th. Um, Last time I talked to you, I was just about to head off to my meeting for Chapman Runway. That night went pretty well. We didn't really talk about much. We kind of talked about fundraising strategies and stuff like that. And then afterwards, me and the president and a few other official people from Chapman Runway talked, and we figured out that we're going to do a promo photo shoot just focusing on the idea of a storm. And that way we can then use storm, and our theme for our runway show can be elements, which is really exciting. And so after that, I think I went back. I didn't really do much during the week. On Tuesday and Wednesday it rained still. On Wednesday I had an American history quiz, which wasn't too bad. I got that back today and I got an 83 on it. I got all the artwork correct, the artist, the art piece's name, when it was made, I got those all correct. The ones I missed were about what Roman documented this, or who brought perspective to Italy from, back in the Roman times during the Renaissance era, and stuff like that. Not little things that I'm not good at remembering. So Friday, I had my normal 2 classes, Spanish and then English, and that was a peer editing day for English, and so I turned that essay in today as well, or at least I hope it turned it in today. And then after that, I drove my friend Nate to the airport because he's from North Bay, and he was going up there to go to Boogie by the Bay, which is a swing dancing competition. After that, I dropped off a package for my sister because her birthday is tomorrow, or in 45 minutes, however you want to look at it. Happy birthday, Em. I love you. Mwah. I hope your birthday goes great. Which is really funny because instead of paying for postage, I just used postage stamps on the box that I sent her. And so out of the 13 stamps my mother had given me to use for cards or whatnot, I used 12 of them. It's kind of funny because the box is only like this big. And so it's like all over the front of the box and spaces where it could fit. Well, then after that, I went to go look for a hula skirt because I had a photo shoot yesterday. And, oh, it was such a long day. I spent like at least half an hour at the post office waiting in line. And then I spent even longer than that looking for a hula skirt, which I didn't find. And then I finally saw a thrift store. I'm like, oh, maybe there'll be one in there, Maybe. Who knows? So I'm turning in, and I turned a little bit too sharply, and what the guy thinks I did is that my tire got squished between the curb and the car, and I put too much pressure on it, and then it popped. So my tire popped as I'm going into this parking lot, and I'm already really stressed because I'm trying to find this skirt 2 days before the photo shoot, and I'm tired of driving because I've been driving all day, and I have things to do when I get back, and so I just start crying. Like, oh, why is this happening? And so first I call my parents, just to let them know what's happening. Then I call AAA, and AAA, you are amazing. The guy was only 15 minutes away. He came out and he changed my tire, and I know how to change a tire, but I was a little bit flustered, and then I'm glad he changed it because my donut actually needed to be filled with air because it was pretty flat. And so, and this guy, he was really nice too. He does a lot of stuff for AAA, and so he was funny, and he's just really sweet. He was a great guy. And so after that, I went back to the dorm, and I picked up the credit card my parents had given me for emergencies. Thank goodness that I have it. A week ago I wouldn't have had it. And then I brought my friend Brandon with me to make sure that they wouldn't rip me off. at the tire place because I needed a new tire, obviously. A donut won't get you very far. So I went and I bought a new tire, and that was good. Then I went back, and we had dinner, blah, 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 and it ended up being a better night than it had started out with. I don't remember what I did the rest of the night, because it was a Friday. I think I probably just hung out with friends and watched a movie or played pool or... Oh, I definitely went to In-N-Out at some point. By the way, last week I had 5 hamburgers in 5 days. Only 2 of which were from the calf. The other 3 were from In-N-Out. And 1 of which was a quad. 4 patties on 1 bun. Definitely needed more sauce than it got. But I didn't have cheese or onions or tomatoes. So I think that happened sometime on Friday night. And so Saturday, Friday, Oliver, and you guys all know Oliver, he came to Southern California for a cross-country meet that would be on Saturday. So on Saturday morning, I went and I watched his meet, which is kind of fun because I've seen him do track, but I've never seen him run cross-country, which is extreme because it's not just 1 mile or 2 miles. It's usually closer to 5 or 6. So that's pretty intense. So I watched that and I saw him afterwards, and it's really nice to see him since I haven't seen him in about 2 months. After that, I just came back to the dorm because I had to do a modeling job that night, which was unpaid. But that's okay because I think I'll have jobs with these people in the future that will be paid, which will be nice. And so I came back, and I was back at about 11:30 because the meet was at 10 in the morning, and it usually only goes about half an hour, and then I saw him for a little bit afterwards, and then the drive back. And so then I had my friend Savvy on the 2nd floor do my hair, then I did most of my makeup, and then I have a friend named Jessica on the 3rd floor NoMo, and she helped me touch up a few little things that I needed help with. Then I drove out to the Grove Theater in Upland, and that's where the music award show was, which was my modeling gig. I was there to represent a cable company called Tsunami Cables and present an award at the music award show. Originally there were supposed to be 6 of us girls, and it was a pinup. Black pencil skirt, white blouse, pinup hair, and makeup, black heels. It's sexy yet classy. And so we were there, and the show went from I got there half an hour early, earlier than I was supposed to, and then they ended up being a half an hour late because of traffic. But the show started at about 8:15, and it went till about 11:15. And they had several different bands. There was 2 heavy metal bands. There was a holy hip-hop group. There was hip-hop. There was rap. There was punk. I think those are the 6 groups that performed, if I remember correctly. And then they had all these different awards, and this is like the 2nd time this has happened. It's called like the Street Live Music Awards show. It's the 2nd year, and Street Live is a music station. It is a radio station. And so, out of the 6 girls that were supposed to show up, only me and 1 other girl showed up, and so we went up and we presented the award saying, we're here with Tsunami Cables, and we're presenting the world for Best Metal. The nominees are, and then they played a little video, and then we got to announce who the winner was, and they came up on stage, and these girls called the Spider Girls, because Spider's an energy drink. Really good, by the way. I would definitely recommend it. But the Spider Girls came out and would present the award, and they looked kind of trashy because they're wearing short black shorts, black heels, and the black tank top that says Spiders stretch over their double D boobs. So we looked a little bit more classy from them than them. And I was told later by Keith, who was the guy who runs Tsunami Cables, that they noticed us. They noticed the pinup girls, which is nice. And so after that got done about 11:15. I then drove and I picked Oliver up at his hotel, and we hung out for a couple hours. We went fountain hopping, and I showed him the campus, and It was a lot of fun. It was a really great weekend. Oh my gosh, I was up so late that night. The next day, I got up at about noon after about 6 hours of sleep, and I ate lunch, and then I had to do my hair and makeup again because for the people I'd done the award show last night, I had to do a photo shoot Saturday night. I had to do a photo shoot Sunday. So yet again, I did my hair, most of my makeup except for my lips. I didn't do my lips until I got there, and I curled my hair, but I didn't do it completely. So when I got there, Leigh, who was the girlfriend of Keith, and she's really nice and she's really sweet, and she had like the whole thing planned. She did my hair, and I had these great victory curls placed on my head, like about right here. And if you don't know what victory curls are, you should look it up. It's very, very pin-up. And then I was in a bikini and a grass skirt, and so like posing with the cables and stuff like that to make it a little bit more classy. But it didn't take very long. It took about an hour at most. And then after that I drove back, and I just relaxed a little bit because I was really tired, because over the weekend I probably drove at least 5 hours in all, which to some people doesn't seem like very much, but with not much sleep and, having to be really busy, it was really tiring. And so I hung out for a little while and with my roomie and watched some Futurama, and then Jessica and I went and we picked up our friend Nate from the airport, back from his competition. He made finals. Yay! Only 17 out of 118 people make finals, so that's really exciting. He didn't get an award, but that just means he wasn't in the top 5, which is still really, really good, especially because the person he danced with he's never danced with before. And it's all improv and stuff like that, and it's really cool. And so we picked him up and came back, and I just, that's when I ate my dinner. About 10:30 I ate dinner. It was just a salad I picked up at Henley Basement, which is like the game room and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. Today was kind of an emotional day. It's kind of hard, like, having to leave someone and stop talking to them and, just don't worry about that. So today was kind of a rough day. I was really tired still because I had trouble sleeping, and it was hot. It was a little bit hot today, and I was wearing a sweatshirt. And then in my pre-calculus class, I was kind of raw from the weekend, like emotionally raw. We got passed back a take-home quiz, a take-home test, and our midterm. And the midterm I got a 97. Yay! Which is great. We have 2 midterms in pre-calculus, which is weird because really he wants to call them like a triad or something like that, because we have 3 tests then, including finals. And so, got that. That was great. And then I looked at my other 2 tests, and on one of them I got a 64, and the other one I got a 74. And so, like, I asked him what I did wrong, and a few of his reasons were valid, but some of the other ones, on one of them, I missed 16 points or something, and at least 10 of those points were because he said I didn't show work. One of the problems, you didn't really need to show work, but he was really picky. He said if you didn't show work, you didn't get credit. So I lost 5 points there, which was really frustrating. And then my other one, I accidentally left out one step. I didn't say x equals this number, so if you add it to this equation, that produces this answer. Like, I didn't put the x equals this. And so that made me really frustrated. And so, I had asked him about that, and so I just, turned around and I got a little teary-eyed and I sat back down. And I didn't realize there were 3 papers you're supposed to pick up, so I didn't pick up one of them. And so he brought it to me. He was like calling out names and handing them back. And he came to me, he saw I was crying, and he's like, don't worry about it, What did you get on your midterm? I'm like, 97. And he's like, oh, just, well, I replaced your 2 worst grades with that one. And, like, I'm like, it's not that. I've just had a very tough weekend. I had a very rough weekend. He's like, oh, and he, like, went on about it, and he's like, talked to me in front of the whole class, and I'm, like, crying, and You know, he doesn't